Whew. I don't really have that much wrestling stuff because I'm not a wrestling fan. But you know, at the Umbrella Academy, mask works just as well. And by the way, I cannot see, so this is the second time in my reviews I cannot see during the process of filming. And so without further ado, let's get into the review.
Episode 14, Tag Team Trouble. The episode starts off with Toad complaining that he has to carry a big bag of coins to the orphanage. And like I said with my review for A Totally Magical Adventure, and Toadstool for President review, I would never trust Toad with anything, because he basically creates this conflict on his own. Toad then sees King Daddy and Cheatsy trying to figure out scams for money. Toad worries that the Koopas are going to steal the money, and he hightails over to the orphanage as fast as he can. Toad becomes super exhausted from carrying the money, and he ends up falling asleep right in front of the orphanage without giving the money to them. But thankfully, the orphanage lady brings in the money without waking up Toad or anything. Toad eventually wakes up hours later and thinks that Koopa stole the money. We're playing the assumption game now, aren't we, Toad? You see, guys, Toad's the worst character in the show. Toad then thinks of ways of how to raise money for the orphanage, and he finds a paper that Koopa threw on the ground. He first starts bashing Koopa, calling him a litter bug, but that paper is what eventually saves Toad's bacon, even though there's really no bacon to save because the orphans got the money anyway. But Toad doesn't know that, so you know what? I hope it haunts him the rest of the episode. The paper is an advertisement for a tag team wrestling competition, and the first prize is the exact amount the orphanage needs. Thankfully, Toad has two really buff cousins, and they are already wrestlers and agreed to help Toad. At signups, Toad is registering his cousins when King Daddy comes in with his team. Later on, feeling threatened, King Daddy makes Cheatsy even the playing field. Cheatsy sneaks into Toad's cousin's house and uses the ultimate OP superpower of hypnosis, and put Toad's cousins to sleep for 3 whole days. I were Cheatsy in this situation, I would have hypnotized them to thinking that they were scaredy cats and they don't know how to do their moves, so they would lose the match. And I'll tell you guys why later. Unable to wake up his cousins, he finally confesses what he's done. I hate this clip with all my life. I hope the animation cells of this scene get destroyed. Thankfully, Mario and Luigi step in and they do a training montage. I need a plumber! I'm old enough for a plumber till the end of the night! Just kidding, the song montage for this episode is Burn Baby Burn. At the tournament, the fight starts and the bros seem to be getting their ass kicked. Also, Cheatsy rigs the stage, so it's an unfair fight. Eventually, Princess decides to cheat as well, and she gets one of the star power-ups to the Mario Bros. They end up winning the tournament and the 1,000,000 gold coins. Meanwhile, untrustworthy Toad goes back to the orphanage and gives them the coins. Then the orphanage lady is extremely grateful for getting another bag. Another bag? Then Toad faints. Good, I hope he suffers a heart attack.
And I really hate Toad episodes. Toad's my least favorite of the Mario game. And of course, if Toad didn't fall asleep, there would be no plot. But you know what? Toad is really freaking stupid. At least this one, he's slightly more tolerable than the, Totally Magical Adventure. He actually tries to do right and to get the orphans their money. And in the end, he ends up doubling the profits at the orphanage. Oh yeah, if this didn't happen, then the plot wouldn't happen. But it doesn't mean we need to dumb down these characters. I'm just going to say that Toad is extremely lucky for how things panned out, because if Princess Toadstool found out, then I would never trust him again, by the way. He had one job, people, one job! Toad ended up creating a huge hassle by himself, and if he just didn't fall asleep, then all that stress wouldn't have gone to him. Also, what really sucks is that we never see Toad's cousins again after this. I hope they're alright. I mean, the hypnosis was only 3 days of sleep, so that could be dangerous because they're not getting food or anything. Yikes. Maybe that's why we never see them again. Yikes. Toad ends up killing his cousins. Toad ends up killing his cousins because of his misdeeds. Who has a higher body count in the Mushroom Kingdom? Toad does! But yeah, that's all I have to say about this episode. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, so I always tend to skip this episode. But whatever. Honestly, I enjoyed it a lot more as an adult than a kid. And thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to come in for the next one. Peace out.